Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Randy. Randy is a brand ambassador. She's a happy client, so thank you for taking the time to drive up from Carson City, and welcome everyone. So as Randy said, my name is Jon James. I am the managing partner of Ignited Results. We are a full-service digital marketing firm headquartered here in Reno. We specialize in showing you how to increase leads and generate sales using LinkedIn. At the end of my short talk, I'm going to invite you guys to go to the back tables and schedule a free consultation so that we can create a LinkedIn lead generation blueprint so that you can begin experiencing what we call an unstoppable business. Sound good?
Yeah. Real good.
So I'd like to begin by asking you to consider a new paradigm or a new way of thinking. And that is, your social media network is a real asset. No different than a piece of rental income. And just like a piece of rental property, if you manage this asset properly, it will increase in value and provide a steady flow of leads, new clients, and referrals. Does this make sense? Okay, so let's take a look at our overview so that we can see how you can build an unstoppable flow of leads. I'm going to be explaining what social selling is, why it's so effective. It is the latest, newest thing in social media. However, it's been around for a couple years now. It's very powerful. So I'm going to talk about social selling and how you can implement it in your business. I'm also going to talk about the power of personal relationships. This is something I'm really big on. In your pamphlets in front of you, there's an article from Forbes.com. I wrote this article for Forbes about 3 weeks ago. In that article, I talk about the power of really creating and cultivating your relationships in the real world with your social media following. This is something I'm a firm believer in. In fact, I believe your net worth is a result of your network. And so the reason I wrote that article for Forbes, and I want to share it with you, is because if you read it later on in your spare time, and you think about it and combine it with the information in this session, you should get a lot of ideas about how to increase the value of your network. Make sense? Okay. So a little bit about myself. In ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox News sites. I actually write for Forbes on a regular basis, usually about once a week. And our strategy or our niche is in connecting you or cultivating your online relationships, making those connections and then bringing them offline in the real world. So I've got 4 rules today. Some of you know this game, so you can't cheat. But I've got 4 rules. Rule number 1, let's have fun. Number 2, I'll give you 100%. Number 3, let's be very interactive. And number 4, this is the most important one. Number 4, you promise that you'll take action. Is that a deal? Okay. So I've got a test, if I can find one. This is a $20 bill.
How much?
20. Good question. I see somebody reaching in their pocket already. So if you'll give me $1, I'll exchange this $20 bill.
We give you $1. All about
Do, 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 do. Oh, you got to come up here and give it to me. Money loves speed. There you go.
Seriously?
Thank you. Let's give her a hand. What's your name?
Paula.
Paula. Thank you, Paula. So here's why we did this. A lot of times we see an opportunity, we hear about it, and we go, is that for real? Right? That's what some of you were thinking. Is he really going to give me a $20 bill for $1? You know? And we hesitate. Or we think, oh, it must be too good to be true. Or we sit back and we analyze it. Or we go, you know what? That is a good deal. And you don't do anything. But success always rewards the people who take immediate action. And like we always say, money loves speed. So Paula got right up, came up here, and she took the opportunity. And so I'm asking you guys and challenging you that today, the information that you learn, go home and use it. I'm going to give you some information that you can use on your own without charge. Use it. And those of you that want to retain us as a done-for-you service, that option is there as well. But either way it goes, you will have the information to take action and really begin increasing the value of your network and increasing the value of your leads. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. Where's my clicker? Here we go. All right, let's go forward. So I have a question. Can one connection triple your income? One connection on LinkedIn? Yes. Okay. Good answer. This is Dr. Aaron Axel. Aaron is here in Reno. Some of you that are local know who Aaron is. So Aaron is a psychologist. She teaches peak performance. She actually coaches a lot of real estate agents on peak performance. Aaron met one lady on social media, on LinkedIn. That one relationship got her a referral, and now Aaron is a best-selling author. She was named Top Saleswoman of the Year in the state of Nevada for 2019, and she 10x'd her income in one single year. All of that came from a single relationship on LinkedIn. So, I say that to impress the idea upon you, or the understanding, that LinkedIn is the sleeping giant. I'm going to give you some stats in a minute about LinkedIn, because oftentimes when we think of social media, we're thinking of Facebook. But for business people, LinkedIn is where it's at today, okay? Now, Aaron, before LinkedIn, she would do things the old way. You know, I'm going to show you guys the difference between the old way and how you should be doing it today. How many of you guys want the new way? Okay, good audience. So before I give you the new way, here's the old way. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is so that you can see the difference, so that you can see where you are today, what are you doing today, and you can make the distinguishment between the old way and what's effective. So here's the old way. You get a real estate license, or you get into a new business, and you rely on these people. Referrals. Friends and family, that can only last so long, right? Okay? After that, pay-per-click ads. Pay-per-click ads work. They're effective, but they're costly. When you're in a really competitive industry like you guys are, pay-per-click ads can be very costly, right? How many of you guys have run PPC ads? Exactly, right. So it can be costly. B&I meetings, Jon James does not wake up at 6 a.m. to go to breakfast on Wednesday. Doesn't happen. Now, you might like to do that, you know, no offense if that's what you're into, but there's an easier way, okay? And then cold calling. Cold calling does work. I have a friend, we've been friends for 20 years. I mean, the guy, he's a machine. But there's an easier way. There's an easier way. So let's look at what that is. Our system leverages what's called social selling. Social selling. How many of you know what social selling is? Okay? Social selling is basically when you go online, whatever social media platform you use, we suggest LinkedIn, and you target your prospect, you send them information that is useful to them, okay? And you send follow-up messages. And ultimately, what you should be doing is you should be engaging your prospects in the real world. You should be cultivating relationships with your prospects in the real world, especially if they are sources of referral, okay? So that's what social selling is. Now, the tool that we like to use is LinkedIn. Here's why. LinkedIn now has over 553 million users. It is the sleeping giant in the social media world. If you're looking to do business, I'm not talking about, you know, commenting on some cute baby photos or cat videos, which is fine, but if you're looking to actually do business, it's taking place on LinkedIn. 80% of B2B leads are originating off of LinkedIn. 41% of millionaires are on LinkedIn. All of your top decision makers, this is the platform, this is where they are. Okay, so this is why this is our tool of choice for social selling. Make sense? Okay. So there are 3 steps to building unstoppable leads. I'd like you guys to write these down. They're simple steps, but they're very powerful, very powerful. Step number 1, position yourself as an influencer. Position yourself as an influencer. Step 2, cultivate relationships. And then step 3, targeted lead generation. Okay, not just regular lead generation, targeted. The reason Randy has such great success in her program is because the leads are targeted. I'm going to elaborate about these in just a couple of minutes. Still writing? Okay. I love it. I love note takers. So step number 1, position yourself as an influencer. One of the fastest ways to do this is to write an article and post the article in LinkedIn News. All of you can do this for free. LinkedIn now allows you to publish articles for free in LinkedIn News. When you do that, your connections, everyone inside of your LinkedIn network, is going to get a notification. It's going to say, Paula was featured in the news. Randy was featured in the news. Now, every single time this happens, month after month after month, what is happening is your connections are saying, oh, you know what? Paula's an authority on her subject. She's not just a regular agent. She is an authority. Does this make sense? Okay. The other thing you want to do is make sure you have a client-facing LinkedIn profile. So your summary on LinkedIn should be about the client and what you can do for them. That's what we mean by a client-facing profile. Your headline message, which is the message that appears right underneath your photo on LinkedIn, it should say how you help someone. So we have a client, his name is Jaques down in Carson City, and he's a real estate agent. Jaques' headline message is, I help engineers buy property. So he's targeting engineers. It doesn't mean he's excluding the rest of the market. It doesn't mean he's losing any business. But it means by hyper-targeting one market, he's going to really stand out. Now, we have a factory here in Reno, the Tesla factory. It's a big deal here. There's thousands of engineers sleeping at the Whitney Peak Hotel downtown. Okay? They can't find housing fast enough. Guess who they call? They all call Jaques. He's an engineer, they're an engineer. He's using what we call the power of affinity. Does this make sense? Targeted marketing. Now, when we get together and we have a one-on-one discovery session, this is something that we uncover over the phone. How to establish your target market properly so that you guys can make some money with your social media audience. Make sense? Okay. The third thing you want to do is form. Now, this is a very, very big nugget right here. So you should write this down, because we only actually share this one in our paid workshops. Create your leadership platform. What this means is that inside of LinkedIn, you can create a group. You can create a group. When you send a connection request to someone and it says, hi, my name is Danielle and I help stay-at-home moms get into real estate, just as an example. When they see that message and it says, I am the founder of XYZ Group, They now perceive you as an immediate person of influence. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay? They perceive you as a person with immediate influence. Now, they don't perceive you as a realtor who just wants to sell them something. They don't perceive you as a salesman who's trying to hustle them for something. They're going, oh, this person is the founder of XYZ Group on LinkedIn. Does this make sense to you guys? Okay, please take 30 seconds, share with your neighbor. We just covered secret number 1, positioning yourself as an authority. You got 30 seconds, and then I'm going to jump right back in with you. Don't be shy. You can just tell your neighbor what you've learned so far. 25 more seconds. Randy, what time do you have? Thank you. Let me know when it's 8 minutes till 4:30. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you guys learning? Is everybody ready for more?
Yes.
More.
Okay, more. I love it. I love it. Okay. So step number 2, cultivate relationships. Cultivate relationships. This is a very, very big deal. This is really our secret sauce, and it separates those who do really well on LinkedIn versus those who do not. The key to the game is once you make the connection, you have to figure out how do you get that person to change the environment and meet with you in the real world. Now that meeting can be over the phone, it can be a video chat, it can be a one-on-one lunch. There are so many different ways to cultivate your network. I'm going to give you some examples in a minute, but start thinking about that. In fact, on your yellow sheet of paper in your pamphlets, there's a section in the middle where it talks about point B. If you get some ideas about how you want to meet people offline in the real world, please write it down in that section. That Forbes article that I wrote, that I mentioned, it talks about this section right here. So let's look at this. How do you cultivate your relationships? You can go to coffee, you can video chat, you can hold dinner parties. In fact, somebody pick one of these and let me know which one you'd like me to elaborate on. Sexy salad. Wow. Wow. And they say sex sells. Jeez. I'm glad a woman said it. Because, you know, anyway. So, sexy salad. I was in Oakland, and I did a sexy salad, right? So, the Oakland Impact Hub, business owners, and you stand around this long, conference table. And the host provides the salad. All of the people that show up provide the fixings. The tomatoes, the cucumbers, the walnuts, the chicken, whatever it is. Everyone that shows up provides the fixings. And everyone kind of fixes the salad. They stand around and do a Native American prayer is the way they did it, but you can do whatever you want. And then you sit down and you break bread. Okay? If you're the host, you're the influencer. You control the game. You've got about 2 to 3 minutes in the beginning to talk about what you do. Everybody sits down and breaks bread. Okay? This is a very powerful way to cultivate your network in the real world. Make sense?
No, why do they call it sexy salad?
I don't know why they call it the sexy salad, you know. But it's sexy. It's different. I guess the more people that show up, the sexier the salad can get. So I have a question for you. How many of you guys are in a relationship or you've been in a relationship, right? Almost everybody, I hope. Did that relationship, what was the first date? Anybody remember? Coffee? Dinner? Most first dates are coffee or dinner, right? So consider the value of your professional relationships. You should be doing the same thing. Think about it. You should be doing the same thing with your professional network. There's a guy, Ryan Levesque. He wrote a book called Ask. I know some of you have read the book. Very powerful methods as well. In the book, he tells the story of a young man who went to Stanford, graduated, 1 year goes by, he couldn't find a job. He goes onto LinkedIn and he starts messaging his network. And his messages went like this: hey, I see we both went to Stanford. And I see that we both live in San Francisco. And so I'd like to get together for coffee to see how we can edify one another's network. Now, what he did is a technique that we use. I cover this with you in our strategy session. What he did was he established common ground. I see we both went to Stanford, and I see we both live in San Francisco. Okay? What happened over the course of 1 month, or about 5 weeks, he got 25 people to have coffee with him. The 25 people that had coffee with him resulted in 85 job offers. Shouldn't you be doing the same thing in your business? Shouldn't you be having coffee with insurance agents, lawyers, business brokers, notary signing agents, people that can refer you business? Does this make sense? Okay, so cultivate your network. I can spend an hour on this, but I don't have time. We are having a workshop in the penthouse suite tomorrow. Jan and Lori will give you more details at the back table. In that workshop, we'll have a little bit more time to jump into some of the advanced concepts and ask questions and things like that, okay? Question?
Can you just tell me the author's name of that book?
Ryan Levesque. Yes. So on your yellow sheet, write down what point B would be for you. Would it be coffee? Would it be dinner? Would it be seminars, webinars? What might it be for your business? Okay. Third section, targeted prospecting. So this is secret number 3, targeted prospecting. Do you guys have Sales Navigator, or have you heard of it? So Sales Navigator is something that you need to sign up for. I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. With Sales Navigator, you can do very advanced targeting. You can connect with people based on where they live, income level, occupation, etc. That is how you target people who can refer business to you. Okay? That's how you target the business brokers, the CPAs, the insurance agents, and all of the people that can do business with you. You can target real estate investors directly. There's so many different types of people that you can target through LinkedIn. So you want to identify the target market, use Sales Navigator for that. Send 5 to 12 follow-up messages. This is key. To cultivate your network properly and to get someone to agree to meet with you in the real world, you need to send about 5 to 12 messages. And I will show you what this sequence looks like. If you can't write all this down, that's fine. If you can, that's great. We cover this in our one-on-one sessions, okay? But this is a biggie. This is actually our framework that we use. It's very successful, and I'm giving it to you. Because again, I want you to walk out of this session and be able to say, you know what, I learned something that I can use in my business today before I even leave the hotel. That's what I want for you. And if you want us to do it for you, of course we will. So, first the connection request. After that, send them a thank you. After that, send some information that you found online that might be useful to them. It could be an article, it can be a book, a video, you name it. It could be a case study. After that, send them an invitation to join your group. Your group is your leadership platform. So you want to invite people into your group. Then you begin your calls to action. Coffee, tea, dinner, movie night, dinner parties, whatever the case may be. That's when you start the calls to action. You have to spread these messages out about 3 weeks apart in order to have maximum engagement with your audience. Make sense? Yeah. Question?
Can you use Hootsuite to schedule all this? Post to LinkedIn?
No. Yeah, Hootsuite won't do private messaging. It'll do post for you, but not messaging. Okay? Now, we message on behalf of our clients 35 to 50 connections every day. Close to 1,000 a month. We inbox. It's manual. They literally inbox to the other person's email. That's why Randy's gone from 2,000 to 8,000. Make sense? I'm actually glad you're there, because when you say that to people, they go, do you really inbox 1,000? Yes, we do. 30 to 50 a day. Okay? So I'm going to stop here and summarize what we've covered so far, and I'll invite you guys to schedule an appointment. You can fill out your yellow sheets if you'd like a free consultation. This consultation is actually worth some money. I'm going to show you what you get inside of it. We usually charge. It's not just a conversation. You're literally going to have a blueprint for your business. Okay, so let me show you what that is. First, I'll tell you, you've got two choices. If you want to turn in your yellow sheets of paper for the free consultation, what's going to happen is I will create, or someone on my staff, we will create a lead generation blueprint for LinkedIn. You can take it home and you can use it yourself, or you can have us do it for you, okay? But we'll build it out for you. Your second option is tomorrow you can come to the penthouse suite in this hotel, and we can kind of kick back. It's a little bit less formal. Have some, you can answer all the questions, and we might do a sexy salad, okay? Okay. Here's what happens inside of your discovery session. It takes about an hour on the phone, our initial talk. We're going to do a profile makeover and recommend headshots, background images. A lot of times we need to change background images for almost everybody. If you have the basic blue in the background, you're failing. How many of you have it? Don't answer that. But we want the background image on LinkedIn to speak to your authority. And so we'll work on that with you. After that, we identify your target market. We're going to go on the Sales Navigator and really start to grind down who we can connect you with at the granular level, you know, based on income, job title, location, etc. From there, we plan your cultivation strategy. Hopefully on your yellow sheets, you have written down how you want to cultivate. We need that info because we're going to study your market and your profile before we ever get on the phone with you. From there, we will brainstorm some names of your group, your leadership platform on LinkedIn. Can you see how this is valuable? It's not like the normal, oh, it's a free consultation. No, it's not just that. It's a plan. It's literally a plan. It's literally a blueprint. From there, we create an outline for a 7-part multi-touch point campaign on LinkedIn to A, connect you with the target audience and drive them to point B, which is you cultivating them in the real world. And then finally, we brainstorm some article topics to plan out your editorial calendar. Make sense? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you.